Good morning, my lovers. I am back in my laboratory, let's say, and we're doing not an experiment. This is how I preserve my coins and artifacts that have gone a bit sort of crumbly, let's say. This one down here, for example, very delicate, and I've had bits of it falling off already. You know, look, bits coming off already. It's because the backing is a piece of lead for some reason. Done at the time, but that is a jeton. Obviously it was very thin at the time, and someone put lead on the back to stop it from falling apart. They had conservation back in the 1500s. Imagine that. Right, so what we're going to do is we are going to try and preserve this delicate item. And what I've been doing lately is in here is molten candle wax, you know, from a candle, and here's my little stove, and there's a candle in there just to stop it from setting. So before I put that delicate coin in, I want to make sure that it's not boiling. So I've got this old buckle here, it's starting to crumble a bit round. See the crumbling? It's starting to go. Now I wouldn't normally preserve a buckle like this because it's I don't know, it's got a bit of gold gilding on it. But you'd probably do it in America, but I'd not necessarily do it here because there are just so many buckles in the ground. It's just like, it's almost like litter. So I'm going to place that in the candle wax, move it around a bit, and just let the candle wax soak in. Now here I've got a little stick that I made into a little spatula. I'll let the excess wax drip off. I'll place it on the tissue paper, and we will just soak up the excess. And what that will do, it's quite hot. Yeah, it's definitely hot. Is that will soak in. In fact, you can see we're soaked into the iron where it was a bit colder. It might need another going because that's all, like you can see, it's set. We're set on the thicker metal. But what that will do is it soaks in and it preserves the surface. The surface will now be preserved, and you can also buff it up a bit with your finger, so it gets a bit of shine to it as well. So I'll place that back in there and let that soak for a bit longer until that in there has, you can actually see it shrinking now, look. Right, so what we want next, it's a nice little old buckle. Not sure of the date on this one. I thought it looked quite old, but I'm not so sure now. I thought I had something Saxon, but I don't know. Any Saxon experts out there can tell me. Oh, anyway, into the wax she goes. And the candle underneath is just preventing it from setting. You do not want this to boil. If you boil this, it will start to destroy the surface, which is highly dodgy. Well, I reckon that's probably about right now. I'm using wood because it's less damaging. It definitely feels hot. Oh, yeah, that's hot. Oh, you can see it now. It's like, because it wasn't cold before. It's now, yeah, it's soaked in. Right. So we'll take that little buckle out now. Ooh, if we can just get it, yes. Move the pin to the middle, just in case it sets. I don't think it will, but just in case. Right, there we go. Just soak up the excess. When this solidifies, all that crumbly surface, it will, that's quite hot. It soaks in, and when the wax solidifies, it sets solid. So all that crumbly surface is now preserved. Right, seeing as it didn't boil, we can now put this very delicate coin in, or gem. Yeah, you can see that, look, very delicate. Look at the edges, they look very crumbly. Right, so I can carefully place that into the wax, hoping not to burn my own fingers. Right, let's just make sure that's not boiling. There's a few bubbles coming off of it. Move it to the outside edge. Right, I'll let that soak in now. Another thing you can do is musket balls. Anything lead, because lead has got this pasty white covering on the outside, and you always go and show your landowners, oh, go and look at that, like they pick it up, and you think, oh, and then you tell them to go and wash their hands afterwards. That pasty white substance on the outside is pretty toxic. I've had diarrhea a number of times from the pasty white stuff on the outside of lead. What I tend to do now is when I go metal detecting, any food that I take with me I wrap in foil and just hold the foil. Right, so I place that into the wax, roll it round a bit. Right, now getting that out is going to be tricky, so I've got a pair of pliers here. Oh, there we go. You can get covered in wax on the pliers, but you know, it'll come off. Probably pin nose pliers might have been better. And now, when you go and show your landowners, they can handle it with care. Well, it's now got a covering of wax on the outside, so they won't get poisoned. Right, let's get that delicate coin out. This might take a bit of manoeuvring. Right, for exactly this purpose, I did bring up a knife which has got a wide head, so hopefully that will make life a bit easier. Yes. So that's probably a good idea doing that. Of course, I would not be bringing this up to my command centre, the spare bedroom, with it in a pan. I would be doing this down on the stove in the kitchen. Let's take off excess wax, and in a minute, when it's dried and cooled down a bit, I will buff it up and you'll see how nice it looks once it's preserved. One of the other things I thought I might try is the knife chap. Place that in. There's still got soil in there, but there's not much we can do at getting that out. It might weaken the structure. And here we've got a George III coin. It's not really weak, but it preserves the surface pretty well. Look, it says 1773 there. It's a nice one. So we put that one in as well. Oh, what else we got down here? I have to get a bit closer. Oh, I got a Bristol farthing. I keep calling them tokens, but they're called farthings. And there it says CB. See the CB? It's not really that weak. This is made of better metal, but it is thin and in not such great condition. So we'll pop that in. Oh, right. Where am I? Ah, here we go. Now here's a coin here. Now, obviously this is a bit older, this coin. King George II, but look how the edges have all crumbled off. So this is ideal. Putting it in the wax will preserve the surface and will stop the edges from cracking even more. So let that soak for a while. I've got another old buckle. I'm not so sure about the date on this one. Perhaps someone could tell me. But that does look a bit older. Saxon? Well, I hope everything's Saxon, but it's not always the case, is it? Right. Pop that in. And start getting some of these things out. Which did I do first? I think I did that one first. Might use the knife on that one. Don't want it to drop off and hit the bottom of the pan. Right. Ooh. Got it. Right, get the excess fat off. Fat? Wax. Let's have a look at this buckle. That's all that perfect. It's a bit darker and you can buff it up, which is nice. Give it a bit of a shine. But now that's preserved, it won't crumble anymore. All the surfaces have had wax soaked into it and that will solidify the surface. Old buckle. It goes a little bit darker, but that will now not crumble anymore. It's preserved. Let's have a look at this coin. Oh, that's still hot. Oh, and that's still hot. Oh. Well, it's got a nice shine to it. And it's preserved to go into your collection. Now, once this coin's cooled down a touch, see what I mean by buffing it up. Just give it a rub with your finger. Right, look at the shine on it now. You can still see the date quite clearly. It's there somewhere. Give it a rub off, there's probably too much excess wax on there. Yeah, you can see the date. Good to focus. Right. So yeah, give it a bit of a rub. It's not ideal to be doing this, but you know, if you don't want items to crumble, I'm just showing you on this coin because it's what I'm doing here. You give it that little bit of a light rub and it brings up the surface. This was pretty ropey anyway, but yeah, it was crumbling. A bit fell out of the bag when I opened the bag up. So all these things now are, I've got a bit of preserving. Well, that's not going to come out unless I get it out with a knife. But all these things are now preserved. So I was just wanting to show you how I preserve my finds. Cheers!